Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to my webinar. Today, I'm Rui, Country Manager Singapore for BIM&CO. It's a pleasure to be here with you for this presentation. Why and how do we structure data for our model? So this webinar will take about 40 minutes, include 5 or 10 minutes Q&A, question answers. So feel free to ask questions from our question channel. First of all, about BIM&CO. BIM&CO is an international company based in France. And we developed the BIM content management platform and solution using a leading and innovation technology. The BIM and product data management solution named Onfly. So it's for both AEC and manufacturers. I think today most of you come from AEC. So Onfly enables seamless collaborative beyond different BIM standards, language, and softwares. So let's start today's topic. Why and how do you structure your data model? So probably we have 3 points to explain why and how do we structure the data our model. First is understanding why do we structure our model data. So for this, we'll talk about the common convention. Also, we'll look at the unique convention for different party or different from different BIM software. Secondly, we'll look how to structure data with our solution Onfly. To explain this, to explain how to structure the reference data, or how to establish the naming convention for different parties of the projects or stakeholders of the project. To explain how it works, we'll have 2 examples. Of course, we have many use cases, but today we'll only talk about 2 of them. First example is how to apply a project convention, especially for project contractors or developers. It means a lot for also BIM managers, BIM coordinators. The second use case, especially for subcontractors or design office, architect, and also other stakeholders like operation and maintenance parties. This use case is to show Onfly how to adapt the convention according the needs of each party. So let's start from the first topic. For the project, for the project owner, or developer, or contractors, even BIM consultant, to build a convention for all project stakeholders is very important. This not only simplifies the process of construction or communication, but also for the building lifecycle management, such as from the operation stage or maintenance stage. We all know each stakeholder has his own language. So a BIM convention appears to create a common language for all stakeholders. We can have all the information understandable in a unique digital model. So that's the main point. So objective of a BIM convention is for better collaboration via a unique model. So this means via a unique model, or we speak the same language. But sometimes we will have to respect our own language, how to adapt to different needs or different language. That's the use case we'll talk about. So that's why we should structure data by using a common convention. That's the context about the BIM convention. The problem today is each party from project has its own convention or own standard, or they are using their own language, their own data template, their own reference data. All of those will bring repeat data entry during the process of the model development. So actually, we have more than 140,000 tools or applications for building life cycle. It's a huge number. So for and it's for from design to operation stage of for the whole project. And each application has its own language or convention they have to respect. So the software language, when we're using those tools, we have to respect them. So today it's not possible to have a unique model which contains all information with a unique language. I mean, for unique language or data exchange, for example. So we may lost a lot of time for data re-entry, data check, and during data import or export. So that's we want to resolve with our solution Onfly to create a common platform, a language, and a standard language to exchange the data. Okay. So for our solution Onfly, the main objective is to let all parties work together to respect the BIM convention, beginning from the project developer or BIM consultant. So each party focusing on what it knows and let the rest stakeholder do the rest. So objective of Onfly is to avoid the loss of information during the BIM process, and to avoid the loss of information through different BIM application, avoid the time repeat data entry. So we'll not lose the time for data exchange. So we are focusing what we know professionally and let the rest party do their job. Okay. How to structure. So this topic, now we understand why it's important to structure data and apply BIM convention for project stakeholder and for different BIM application, for example. Now we'll look at how to do that. So Onfly is designed to offer a property dictionary to contain the reference data, or we call that data template. So the property dictionary is a container for all parameters used in one project, for example, or in one model, or used for example, for equipment, for different objects. So the user, you can configure this parameter with detailed type of data, unit, etc. So you can also associate this parameter with a classification of the project or classification of the building. With the classification, you can structure your building information collaboratively. So, and of course, you can create the property dictionary by importing a shared parameter file or import from an Excel file. With Onfly, the property dictionary, you can then configure all these parameters easily online. So that's how we have two methods to structure data for the from the property dictionary and the classification. So basically, with dictionary of parameters, we have a database to do exchange with different project parties, different disciplines, different application. Because of parameters dictionary can link to all parameters from different stakeholders. So use Onfly, we can also share this parameter to all stakeholders easily. Another important point here, Onfly also allow you to create your own naming convention. If you are working for different discipline, behind the dictionary and classification, the naming convention alone users to translate different language if the parameter come from different discipline or even from different BIM application. Okay, later I will show how it works, of course. Sorry. So objective of the naming convention is to link your parameter language to the dictionary language. Finally, in your model, your parameter will not mixed with others. So they will be harmonized in your schedule, for example, in Revit, only with your unique language. So actually, with the naming convention, we keep the link using a function called mapping. So between user convention and the dictionary side. So in this way, everyone can work collaboratively in the same model. Okay. Yeah. Feel free to ask questions when when I do the showcase. So now I will show example. The first example, first use case to explain how to apply a convention, the BIM convention of project. So this is mean a lot for project owner or BIM project contractor, even for BIM consultant. So it's also mean a lot for BIM manager or BIM coordinator. Okay. Now I will turn to the application Onfly. Now you can see my screen. It's my Onfly private library. It's an object library named Onfly. So everyone, you can have your own domain name of your company. Create your own cloud, private cloud for your object. So next, firstly, we'll talk about the project dictionary, how to define for property dictionary. So there's the dictionary of properties will contain all the property or parameters used in the project. So you can enrich the dictionary by import Excel file or by importing a shared parameter file. Okay, so all these parameters, once you define this, all the stakeholders who are using the parameter for modeling or for the objects will easily get their parameter from the dictionary. So you will define the dictionary standard for your parameter. So that's how to define the property dictionary. It's simply from a link. The next I will show you is for the classification. The classification management from Onfly. We define already. We offered already some international classification like master format, omni class, uniforma 2. Of course, the user can create their own classification like this one. From my use case, this use case, I have a classification for operation stage, for example, the BIM operation. For this application, you can have many projects, of course. For one project, I have 2 buildings and several level. I have my room, I have my equipment, I have my electrical equipment. For example, for the electrical equipment, from the right side of the window, I think you can see my window. Here, from the right side, you will have a list of properties which are associated and linked to this class electrical. That means you can define the parameter, useful parameter for the operation stage and for this class. Of course, this parameter is come from your dictionary, property dictionary. So for each parameter, you can define all the detail of this parameter, the type, the unit, etc. Another important is you can also set up as mandatory for this parameter for this class. That means when your object from the library once associated to this class, they will automatically have this parameter you defined in the back office. Okay. For example, for the operation, I defined the warranty start date, the contract information or data commissioning, etc. So this information is once my object linked to this classification. So all of these parameters will automatically input to the object. For example, here I will here is the object library. It's the main interface. So here you have all your objects like a central library. Of course, you can have your own projects library. So this interface is for a central library. So from the central library, you can view each object with different classification, the name, and also the author, also the type. So for the classification, you can easily do a search or filter for your objects. For example, here, if I want to check to search my objects for from the class of electrical, I can easily click the electrical class. Then I have 3 objects appear. This means I have these 3 objects linked to the electrical class. So for this week, we will gain a lot of time to do the search of our object. Of course, for the detail of the model, for example, this model, you can have all the information about the current creation date, last update, also the vision of the revision, the version of this object. So as I give the classification links to this object, I will automatically have get the 29 properties from the classification which I defined the properties for this class. So all these parameters will automatically input in this object. Not only if you have a 3D model linked to this object, or if you don't have a 3D model, for example, for this type, I don't have a 3D model for this type, but I also have all the parameters for my object. So that means Onfly has a technology to separate the data and the 3D model, the non-geometry and the geometry information in one object. So you can use our plugin, for example, for Revit. You can download your object by downloading the 3D model, or only by download the properties. So another function is for this object, you can also associate or link documentation for explain your object. So you can from the viewer online to view your documentation about this object. Okay. So let's explain how we'll define the property dictionary and the classification, and how to apply these properties into your object automatically. So all these function is there from the web site. You can log in with your administrator login for BIM manager or BIM coordinator. Okay. Another thing is all these parameters can export use our API connector. So you can link the classification, your objects, your data, your geometry to our Onfly database with other platform like your FM platform, your other BIM platform. So that's the first use case I want to show. So from this use case, we have seen how to apply a convention for the project or for your company from the property dictionary and from classification. Now for use case 2, I will explain how to adapt the different convention according a different discipline or different profession. For example, you are architect, you are design office, you are from FM party, you are from constructor, and how we can connect the BIM convention with our own language. So let's see how. Okay, so let's get back to the interface of Onfly. So for second use case, we'll talk about the naming convention. The naming convention is for create a connection with your own convention to the dictionary convention. Okay, so here we can define the 3 naming convention for different parties. For example, for architect convention or BIM convention. Architect convention here, I have ARC in the beginning. So in the right side, you can note that it is from the property dictionary of my central library, my company. For example, the manufacturer, it's the naming from my the dictionary language. From the left side, ARC is for my architect naming convention. I have also my BIM convention for the final convention or for the delivery standard language. For example, I have the BIM in the beginning, and also I mapped, I linked all my parameters to the dictionary. So simply use the mapping function of Onfly. I have also my convention for constructors. For example, here, I have installer in the beginning. So you can create many different discipline, many different convention for different discipline. Even you have your own language for creation your model, no problem. You can simply by import a shared parameter here. So you can create your own naming convention and link to the project dictionary. Okay. Secondly, I will show from the Revit side. Now I'm in a Revit project, and for example, for instance, I'm engineering from I'm an engineer from engineering company. Now I get my model from architect. So let's check the schedule of my lighting. For this lighting, I got all the model from architect, and that's a context. Then from the schedule of the lighting, you can maintain that you can find I have lot of parameter that is my language installer. I'm a engineer for constructor. And also you can find there's also this parameter named by architect. So because the model is from architect, I input all his 3D model and his parameters in my model. So with this there's many, maybe there's many parameters has mean the same, but the parameter has repeat and mixed. So I think all the parameter is not very useful for my model. So how to harmonize or how to structure this different language when me from my side, when I work for my model, I can how to harmonize others parameter. So you can use the plugin of Onfly for this solution. So a little about BIM&CO plugin. Once you access your BIM&CO account with the plugin, you can connect directly to your central library on the cloud. Okay, you can download, you can upload your objects. You can download the new objects because BIM&CO has a public library for free. You can also enrich your object for your project directly from BIM&CO plugin. So this has the same interface with the website. So that means after 1 day work, you can also upload all your objects and all your data on cloud. Here on Fly, we are focusing on object and object data management, but not for the whole 3D model management. Okay, but we can help you to manage each object with all its parameters. Another way to resolve the harmonized problem or structure data from the setting windows. So once you access with your user account as a user, or no matter if it's a user or no matter it's a administrator, you can access for different naming convention. Here you can find the 3 naming convention. I defined it in my central library. Here, if I want to respect, use the BIM convention for my model, when I download, when I update, when I create new properties, I will respect the BIM convention. So here, I just select the BIM convention and confirm the convention. Then get back to check the model of this lighting. You can find all my parameters has harmonized with the BIM convention parameters. So that means different discipline or different user, you can use different naming convention defined by administrator or by the BIM manager or by the BIM consultant company. So you can follow their language use to work. You can also apply your other convention, naming convention to your, for example, I'm an MEP engineer, so I will follow the naming convention. I'll create my naming convention named for MEP. So here I will get all the naming convention for convention MEP. Okay, that's what I the second use case I want to explain. Okay, till here I finished my 2 use case. Feel free to ask questions before the end, so we will have time to answer your questions. To finish the Onfly function, I will get some only some principal function about Onfly. Once is for you can use Onfly for multiple office design. If you are a big company, you have a lot of office, you can work for the same library on the cloud, and you can download, upload on real time for your objects. into your model. Okay, so you can centralize your library, create your generic or a central company library. Secondly, we can use Onfly, like we have looked, to create a common language like property dictionary or classification standards. Okay. Thirdly, for doing the research, doing the searching, so you can find and view your object use our web application or simply from the Revit plugin. So as we have the technology of Superior, the data and the geometry model, so you can merge your data and 3D model at any time. You can, from the download process, you can download only the data to your existing model. You can also download only the manufacturer data from the library or from the public library into your general generic object. So as you need. So like this, we can define your level of information of your object. You can download only the information that is useful for your step. So you don't need to download all the model or all the properties. So also you can define for each object, you can define different level of detail for your model. So you can have 3 or 5 from low LOD 100, 200, 300 till 500 linked to one object, like I showed in the past slide. So it's for me it's a challenge for today's webinar because we have only 30 minutes to explain the 2 points. Of course, we will have many other webinar like today to share information or share knowledge to all my friends. Before I give Q&A, Q answers, please answer a little question, a little poll, so I can understand your feedback about this this webinar. Okay, please do the poll from your screen. Please give the answer. Thank you. So at the same time, I will look about some questions. Okay. Okay. In the same time, I have several questions. Thank you. Is there support for other applications like Bentley or ArchiCAD? What API format does library accept? Okay, that's a good question from Lina. Yeah, of course, with our Onfly, we support not only the web application, but also for Revit, ArchiCAD, SketchUp, also for Tekla, for example, or Plan. For Bentley, actually not yet, but we can easily develop a plugin if you have this kind of request. So the plugin is very simple. We can simply connect to the main cloud. It will works. Other question is to which format? What's the format library accept? Okay. Actually, we accept more than 30 format from the 3D software, like many BIM software. For example, here, for this object, I can edit this object. This object, you can have this object for 7 steps for complete your object information. For the model, there's only one part of information about the object. So you can find here, you can upload many kind of 3D format like CATIA format, SketchUp format, Bentley format, etc. So no matter which kind of format, you can link to other parameters. Okay, so if they're plugin for other platform, then wait. Yeah, I can just answer this question. Okay, please complete the poll. In the same time, I will answer your questions. Yeah. From Lina, does this system come with a predefined library for user to use? Is there some standard country library available? Yes, of course. When we deliver the Onfly library, firstly, you can access for free for the BIM&CO public library. For example, if I choose the BIM&CO public library, there's more than 200 manufacturers generic object and the manufacturer's object from the public library. So you can use for free all these objects. Of course, we can predefine your property dictionary with BIM&CO dictionary. You can also predefine your naming convention with your shared parameter. So there's a takeoff series for the new Onfly user. So when you receive Onfly, you have all parameters defined by BIM&CO standard. You can also receive a training from BIM&CO for create or configure your own dictionary, your own classification. Okay. Yes. Does the library already have a list of standard properties like Uniclass, Kobe? Yes. That's another good question. When you decide, for example, to download your parameter into your model, you click download. Okay. Here, for example, from the plugin, I download the data. Once from the download, the step 2, you can define you will follow the Kobe standard for all the parameters. If you click Kobe, you will follow all your parameter named by Kobe or grouped by Kobe standard. Of course, by like Omniclass, like Uniclass, we have already in the library to I can show you. Okay, for the classification management, for example, you have ATRM, you have Omniclass, you have Uniclass 2 product, Uniclass 2 system that is predefined in the library, okay, by BIM&CO. Okay. Can the mapping function can be used for special project naming convention? Yes. Here, about your Linux, another question, can the mapping function can be used for special project naming convention? Actually, for Onfly, you have your naming convention for whole project. Of course, we have the project library, but actually you cannot define for the naming convention for a different project. You can define, I will suppose you can define all the naming convention for the whole central library. Then you can define which user can use which kind of naming convention. They say by the BIM manager. Okay. Okay. Feel free to ask other questions. From Jimmy Low, may I know how BIM&CO is better than other content management software? So I compared actually many object management software, but I think many this kind of management software is focusing on managing 3D model, 3D model for your object. But Onfly, the main function or the main highlight is for Onfly. It's not only manage your 3D model, but the all your data in your object. Okay, it can also define, configure the BIM convention, also the naming convention. That these 2 points today I do the showcase doesn't exist in other software till now, from my knowledge. Okay. Okay. Thank you for your poll. Okay, I will try to. Do you have other questions? Can I use BIM&CO to add additional properties into Revit family object? Yes, of course. For example, so the question is, can I use BIM&CO to add additional properties into Revit family objects? Yes, from BIM&CO plugin, you have a function called add properties. So you can add new properties to your object without any value. Okay, so for the add property function, you can access to your property dictionary. Okay, of course, you can add new properties from your property dictionary, but all those properties is defined by the BIM manager or BIM consultant in the user admin role. So here, so you can also create a new property from the website, and you can add these properties into Revit family. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. I think it's about time. If you have other questions, feel free to contact me with my email address. I will also call back you if necessary via your answers from the poll. Today's webinar is ending, so stay safe, everyone, and nice to meet you here. See you next time. Goodbye. Bye-bye.